Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is the horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. So we have the 10 of discs tonight, which has everything to do with wealth. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and lift this up and we're going to take a look and see what's going on here. What do these tea leaves have to say tonight? And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. All right. Okay, so I want to start right here. So immediately I noticed we have a face. It looks like side profile. You can see the eye, you can see the nose, the mouth. It looks like maybe there's a hood over top, kind of. I almost get this feeling of lurking, right? Of kind of hiding in the background here. And I just get this feeling there's almost kind of somebody who is watching you, but I don't think that this is like, in a kind of creepy, scary way necessarily. But I do think that this is, they're interested in you. They're drawn to you, right? Maybe they have kind of tried to communicate with you, or maybe make a friendship of the thing, or I don't know. But I feel that you're acutely aware of this, or there's really just a feeling of somebody kind of on the outskirts of your life. Now, I wonder if this is at work. We're dealing with discs here. I know from the 10 of discs, you're doing pretty well, right? It doesn't have to just be monetarily. Hopefully, though, that's what we're talking about, right? But I don't think this is why they are drawn to you necessarily. I think that this is maybe it's like a beacon of light. That's the only way I can really put it. It feels like a beacon of light here. And there's something about you they find very kind of charismatic, interesting. They may be drawn to kind of those emanations of heart, right? You just have this energy that flows. And it seems that, yeah, they're there, they're looking. That's the feeling I keep getting. And, being a Taurus, I don't think that you mind this, right? As long as it feels safe. I don't think that you mind being paid attention to. Now we have also, it looks like a cat. Okay, if we turn this a little bit, it looks like we have the head of a cat right up here, the eyes, the mouth, and then we have the body. Okay, and so I immediately feel as though, there is a sense of kind of, I don't know, maybe to some degree a little bit of recoil. I think that you like being an independent being, kind of doing your own thing. And when there is this kind of perception of somebody paying a little too much attention, or paying a lot of attention. Maybe it's not too much attention, but paying a lot of attention, it can really bring out this kind of impulse to, pull away a little bit more, even socially. Again, I don't think that you mind the attention, but I think that it kind of, it sets off a thing within yourself that really does kind of like bring up this feeling of, you know, I am my own person. I do my own thing. I like to kind of go my own way. I don't like to live in relation to others, right? You don't want to be grouped in. And so there is a sense of fierce independence here. Now, this doesn't look like a fierce cat. It kind of reminds me of a cat laying down, kind of, you know, purring and wanting to be petted, or taking a little bit of a cat nap, or, you know, something like this. So I do feel like there is ease in this. It's not necessarily, you know, that you're in this kind of, you know, defensive stance. I don't think that's the case, but you're aware, right? And you must stay aware. When we do kind of when we do have the attention of somebody who goes a little further than the regular, oh, I noticed this person, or I've seen them around, or, you know, they find them quite interesting, or whatever it is, you know, we must always kind of keep our eyes and ears open, okay? Now, let's go ahead and we're going to turn this a little bit. And so we have the number one. The number one. And here we have two people. We also have the cow's head. We have the cow's head. We have a person here. We have a person here. Okay? And I feel like there is a message coming through. We have a bird in their hand. Okay? Kind of an arrival of a spirit guide, it feels like. Now, this is related to this mother energy. We have that cow that is very much like Hathor. Now, as I'm looking at this one over here, I'm seeing it looks like a person who has kind of almost like flames, but it kind of is a whole person in itself. So I feel like this is almost kind of an illusion, right? Somebody who is using some kind of magic or glamour, or some kind of, you know, ability to promote an image that is maybe not exactly true to reality, right? I'm trying to think of how to say this. There is a sense of, kind of the aura being within that fire element, right? Kind of this idea of like gassing, getting gassed up or gassing oneself up. That is to kind of feed into the ego, the pride, to come into this place of basically having like a shield, right? Or at least putting out the imagery of something that maybe isn't exactly accurate. Now, do most of us do this on the internet and things like that? Yes, of course, right? We've all become so good at curating our lives. You know, especially if you're somebody who has spent a good part of your life having access to the internet, right? And we all know people like this that take it to an extreme in our own lives, right? We know them in person. We have known them for years, and the way that they kind of promote themselves on the internet, not really very much like what they are in reality, right? no judgment on that. Okay. I mean, that's just part of what the culture is now. It used to be that we just kind of dealt with this kind of energy or facade or whatever with people kind of, you know, in greater society. And it just, you know, it maybe seemed a little strange, or maybe, you know, people are taken in by it and they find this person to be, you know, quite moving or whatever. But now I think it's something that happens a lot, right? I don't even think it phases us as much as it maybe once did. If you can remember back in the day when you would find out, oh, this person's not like they, you know, promote themselves to be at all. How strange is that? Well, now, you know, we just kind of take it for what it is. A lot of people are living this way. But I do feel like in a more spiritual sense, there is this kind of a spirit guide. Yeah. The mother archetype. There's a sense of coming back into self, right? And I think this happens as we get older. We go from living in our teens, our 20s, these kind of very formidable years where we're trying to find our place and we're trying on different, you know, costumes and masks and positions in life and hopefully getting out there and experiencing things and finding what do we like and what do we not like and, you know, so on. And as you get older, and now maybe it's because we're just so dang tired, I don't know. You start to kind of find your place, right? And you start to return back towards yourself into these more authentic places. Okay, this is kind of the process of individuation. We are shedding these conditionings. We are shedding the necessity to kind of masquerade ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that you're fake or that you put out an image of whatever it is that is so much different than yourself. But I do think to some degree you're really good at creating a persona, right? I think that you're somebody, and this is a Taurus thing for sure, a highly curated image, an aesthetic, very cool kind of, you know, clothes and the way that your house is decorated and the things that you're into. Taurus people are usually very like creative, intellectual artists. And I know I say this a lot, and sometimes I get some pushback from other Taurus people on the channel, and you say, I'm not an artist, Lenore. I don't feel like an artist. I challenge that. I really do, because I fully believe, especially solar and lunar Taurus people, so creative. So particular in your niches as well. Definitely somebody who, when you find something you're into and you start like wearing it, a style or a kind of music, or you're, you know, I don't know, basically you're a trendsetter, okay? And so I don't think that this is necessarily like anything that... And I just want to keep iterating. I'm not saying that there's a fakeness here. It's not a put on. Okay, but you like to adorn yourself with different you know, experiences and feelings and vibes and so on. But I feel like in this period of time, and this feels much akin to maybe like you know, that midlife point, right? I'm not going to say midlife crisis, but that midlife point where, yeah, there's a lot of shedding happening. There's this kind of back to the basics going back, remembering what was it that you loved in your youth? What did you love as a child? You know, what did you hope for yourself? What were your dreams, your aspirations, right? And what does that look like now? Have you, you know, kept those alive? Have you kept the magic of wanting alive, right? Of those dreams? And I think, you know, probably a lot. Yeah, probably. Taurus people are usually very in touch with their inner child. Sometimes that can be difficult, right? There might be a lot of pain there. A lot of things to work through. But you're taking care of that inner child and you're allowing it to prosper, okay? So I feel there is an energy of this, yeah, very kind of almost feeling like an outside intelligence. Now, this could be the guardian angel, the daemon, not to be confused with demon. It is daemon, the higher thinking. This could be, you know, it could be quite literally an outside intelligence, something like an elemental, you know, something that belongs to the land, a spirit that belongs to the land, you know, something, I don't know, whatever, a macrobe, some kind of spiritual entity, okay? And showing up for you. And I do believe coming through in dreams, coming through in visions. So take heed. Now, you don't have to follow this person, this thing, this intelligence. You don't have to partake at all. But I think it's very important to be aware, taking a look at these moments of interaction as they happen, okay? So if you're having dreams, very potent dreams, write it down, draw it, paint it, make a recording, whatever it is, okay? Document what it is that you're experiencing, what kinds of imagery, symbolism, impressions, how does it make you feel? Ultimately, to me, when we are kind of taking a catalog of, making sure we have documentation of, and then decoding our dream spaces, the most important thing is, how do things make you feel? What are those impressions? Okay, now the symbolism is important. You know, if they're showing you things, if you're seeing something continually repeated and it's also happening in waking life, those are important cues, right? But I do think that it's so important to really look at, how are these interactions making me feel? Okay, what are the kind of energies that are coming out of them? What is staying with me? Because often these kinds of dreams, these kinds of visions, they'll stick with you. It's not just like I wake up and I forget about it. No, this is going to definitely kind of color the atmosphere of your day. And so important to take note of that. Now, also we have the cow. So we have that mother energy once again. And this is protection. Okay, I feel like this is a time where you're being quite protected. And I absolutely feel like this is a time in your life where, yeah, I think that the resources are there, the money stuff getting sorted, getting stable. You know, it feels like a big win. Yeah, feeling like, yeah, you're able to cover your bills and do your thing, and maybe even kind of, you know, tuck a little bit away. That's always, you know, a great blessing, a great success, to even to be able to put away $5, you know, every few days. That it might not seem like a lot, but that is, you know, progress. Okay. So, we also have And I'm looking right here. As I'm looking, I see this face right there. Yeah, we just also have this energy of to be seen, to want to be seen to some degree, but also to create space and boundaries, right? And I feel like, but there's a sense of fuel here happening. A little bit strange. Everything a little bit strange. A little bit, and there we are. So we have the heart as well. Okay, so you can see a large heart. There just seems to be this kind of like purpose reemerging, right? Or focus, or and you're being fueled, I think, by some of the attention, but also feeling good about where you're at, where you're going. Excited about what am I going to be doing next. And that's the real feeling I'm getting here. Now with the 10 of discs, it's always, you're doing well. It's all coming together in a lot of ways. But it's also a reminder that we must be careful that we don't let this wealth, this success overcome us, right? It cannot take hold of us. It is insidious when we start to go down the path of kind of corrosion, right? It will corrupt us. It will become quite corrosive if we let it. Okay, it is not who we are when we're doing well, when we have some money, when we have some power and ability. It also does not last. I mean, you can try to make it last. You can absolutely be very mindful with your resources and grow them and all of that. But this feeling of the power and the I'm kind of the king, the queen of my own universe. This feeling doesn't last forever, and it is quite a tumble if you let yourself really believe that there's some kind of elevation due to your circumstances in the physical world. And that is that, I feel like, oh, I'm better than people around me, or I'm doing so well. Look at me, I'm so awesome. And we all have that instinct when we start to get on a little bit, right? But it's not. It's an illusion, right? You are the same person you always have been. And hopefully when you hear me saying that, it brings you comfort, right? And if it doesn't, if you think, no, I'm different, no, I'm not that, whatever I was before, I think that's something to look at, that's something to think about. What is it about yourself that you're trying to get away from? And why? Why? So we also have an angel here. We have, it looks like a dog, I think. And we have a person kind of standing with this angel. And I feel like, in your life, there is a companion of some kind. It could be a dog, a cat. Maybe you rescue animals, or you are a rehabber or something. But I feel like there's this intense energy of having such a deep kinship with the animals of your life. And this is a good place to go to remind yourself that you are fully on earth, right? You come right, your head might be, way up there in the clouds, but your feet are on the ground, right? And when we have our animal companions, they don't care if you are super famous or if you are, barely getting by and nobody knows you and whatever. Somewhere in between. you know. They don't care. They just know they either love us or they don't. You either have some food for them or you don't. So yeah, being in those kinds of relationships with these beings who kind of just, yeah, they just exist. They do their thing. They're not impressed by the things that we humans are impressed by. So it is a good indicator of how you're doing as a being if you get along with the animals of your life, if you have a belovedness with them. And they will be there for you, right, through the ups and downs. And I think that you know that. And I know, Taurus people, you have the greatest compassion. Yeah, for people, but especially for, I think, the natural world, right? Animals, plants, your environment, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look here. We have the divine doors, and I'm going to go ahead and flip through, and we're going to stop where it feels right. And here we are. Yes, beautiful, beautiful flowers upon the door. And it says 11, 11, numbers in doubles, synchronicity in 2. Don't hold back your love now. Life is meant for you. Life is meant for you. All right, Taurus. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. I absolutely do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I think with that, we'll just say good night. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I hope that, oh my goodness, I hope that you get some days of sun here. We have had so much rain. It's been glorious. I love rainy days, but I'm also interested in maybe having 1 or 2 sunny days this June. I'd like to go swimming more than once. So I hope that your weather is better than mine, or at least you are enjoying the rain if you are somewhere where it's been raining a lot as well. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, I hope that you are keeping warm, enjoying a reprieve from the heat, and having a most beautiful season. We're almost here at the solstice. It's time to set our intentions. Yes. All right. Love you. Good night. We'll talk in a few days. Goodbye.